what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I want to do a book review today because I finished a book. I was having some trouble reading those paper books or reading, not listening to audiobooks and actually reading a book, but I finally got through one and I'm going to do a review on it. So actually, you know what? It's actually got a physical copy of this book. It's Mark Manson's book here. It's named, this is such a great name here, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I can say it because that's the name of the book. No one can complain about that. By the way, if you ever go to a Tony Robbins seminar, you're going to hear the word fuck a lot. You're going to hear a lot of profanity because that's what he does. He says that he does it for pattern interrupt. I think he just likes it. So I don't care. Anyway, this book. So to give you some background here, Mark Manson, very good writer, very good blogger. And I think this is his first real book. I've seen some of his blog posts. They've gone viral. I think he wrote a blog post called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. He wrote, a bunch of, there's a few posts like that were these kind of phenomenal, just very witty, very insightful, philosophical posts. He just really good writing, right? That people just shared all around. So he built up this huge blog, this huge following, just based on some of these really good writing. So I was very excited to get this book, right? I wanted to say, okay, wow, this guy's a great writer. I love his stuff. I want to read his book. Now, I don't want to say anything negative. I did like the book, okay, but I've got to give you honesty, right? And I'm doing this for the purpose of not. I love the guy. He's awesome. Don't want to tear him down at all. I think the book is really good, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it because I wouldn't be genuine. You wouldn't value me if I didn't do that. So, with that said, I believe that his writing style is excellent, and it's excellent. Is more conducive, at least the way that he's expressing his voice in his writing, which I'm sure he could do it in a different way, more conducive to a fairly long blog post, but not to a book. And I'll tell you why. Because he does a lot of interesting, very witty, shock effect type of grammar and ideas in his writing. He says a lot of funny, kind of witty, kind of and a lot of shocking, stuff, right? That kind of jars you and it does a pattern interrupt, right? Like I was saying with Tony Robbins. And the problem with that, though, in an entire book, is that it starts to detract from the message, and it feels very, very forced because it's so long. Like in a blog post, I think it's totally fine, and it's good because you haven't read his stuff for a while. You read his posts and it's like, yeah, I like this guy. Cool, cat burrito, whatever. He said some funny stuff, and it feels good. Like you like it. But when you're reading through a fairly decently sized book, and it's like that after that, it's like the magic's wearing off, and then it just, I don't know, it feels a little bit overused. Not that I can't really describe it really well, but that's the best way I can describe it. So the book itself is great. I mean, what I mean by that is that it's great in what he says, right? I think I'm saying that I have a problem with the voice that he's writing with, the style that he's writing with in this form, in this long length of format. But what he says in the book is essentially very, very closely to the same life philosophy that I follow, this Stoic philosophy. I think some of you are probably like, holy crap, how could you you should give him like a 5-star review on this book because it's so awesome, because he says all the same stuff you do. He says stop being a friggin' whiner, stop having the victim mentality. And I totally agree. Like that kind of stuff, that's what's all peppered throughout the book, is this, kind of, he attacks the whole liberal sort of millennial type of mentality. I did this video that a lot of millennials didn't like, but on millennials, and he talks about that very extensively through the book. He does it in a way that is not super attacking and gets his point across, and I think he's got a really good philosophy for life, and he goes into Stoic philosophy a little bit. So what I would say about the book is that from a life philosophy perspective, I pretty much agree with it 100%. I feel like the message is a little bit soft, but I feel like it's because it's an introductory message to people that need this to be given to them in a soft way because they haven't heard of these things. For someone like me who's studied a lot of this, I didn't feel like there was enough depth for me to gain a huge amount from it, but there were some points where I was like, oh, okay, this is something that I'm going to apply to my life, and it makes sense. But there wasn't a lot of them. If you are not exposed to this, if you're new to my channel, if you haven't heard of any of this stuff, if you're stuck in the victim mentality, if when I did the video on why white male privilege doesn't exist, which you can check out, if you were triggered by that and you said, oh, that guy, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, then definitely pick up this book, because this book will be a much more gentle introduction than I gave you that will probably change your mindset in a lot of ways in that direction, because it makes sense, it's rational, and he's done a good job of making it humorous and funny and entertaining as he takes you through that path. So that's basically my take on the book. I think it's a good book. I think it's worth reading. I think that there's two pieces to it. One, like I said, if you're new to this kind of thinking, if you're kind of just watching my channel and kind of like if you know, like if you're like, look, I blame shit on other people, and I blame my circumstances on other people and other things, and the world's against me, and all kinds of shit happened in my life, and it's not my fault. Read the fucking book, okay? Because that is going to help you, okay? The second thing is, if you don't think that way, but you're a fan of Mark, and you can bear through the kind of, a very, very, very long blog post, also get the book, right? But if you're already pretty advanced in this, if you're already very much into Stoic philosophy, if you already have completely shed the victim mindset, it might be a good book to reinforce what you already know, but don't be like super excited, because it's not going to shed anything new. I'm trying to put some caveats on here, because I don't want to say that the book is bad, because it's not bad. It's a great book, and the world needs this book, right? And written in this way, maybe a little bit less on the tone, but essentially the world needs this introductory book that they're gonna grasp onto and to get slapped around like Mark does and woken up. So I definitely like the book. Like I said, it's not as applicable to me. It's not. I didn't appreciate the voice for it as that length, that format, but I would still recommend the book given the circumstances I told you here. So anyway, if you would like to, oh man, stop saying anyway. There's gonna be a ton of videos where I say stop saying anyway, because I'm trying to break that habit. I should start editing my shit, so I'll have to edit that out. But here we go. If you would like to see the playlist of all of my book reviews, click there. And if you like this book review, if you don't like this book review, if you just want to see what kind of shit that John is reading, just click the subscribe button and you'll get my book reviews, and you get all kinds of other stuff, all kinds of goodies that I make for you here at Simple Programmer. I will talk to you next time. Take care.